Hola amigos, welcome to Life for Living Well channel. Please subscribe to keep the channel going. You can also check us out by visiting our website on www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Sit down and enjoy the helpful topic for this week. Hey, welcome back to another episode for Life for Living Well. My name is Richard. I hope you're all well. Before we dive into the podcast this week, as we're coming close to the Christmas and toward the end of the year, so we decided to have a particular topic that cover the next coming few weeks. So you might see it as series 1, series 2, series 3, but because the particular topic for this week is so vast, is so big, and is involved in time, and also how it's affecting individual is also different, and it also allow each one of us to develop a practical skills to expand it within our own personal mindset and the energy. So before I throw the topic into the air, I quickly want to say that if you like to know about the sources where we get the references for this podcast, you can check it out on our website, and you can even check each of the podcasts that we release to the air. There are also associate articles attached to it. If you kind of also like to read more into what the podcast is trying to cover in 10 to 15 minutes, you can read the article in just 3 or 5 minutes. So once again, my name is Richard, and if you'd like to contact me directly, you can use the contact form on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. So you can also browse the book page and see some of the books that you might love to read, and we'll also put a link that where to buy it even on Amazon directly. So let's get started for this week. So the topic I have for this week, I call it the truth about money. So part 1. So this particular topic is being branched out to 3 different parts. But this particular one I call it part 1, and it's going to cover certain area of money. So again, the topic of the podcast for this week, we call it the truth about money. So let's get started. So the question is how to make money, how to keep money, how to increase money. Asking this kind of question will lead you to the path of discovery. Why it takes work and energy, but the process will also transform you if you are determined and desire to do this. This topic has been in my mind for a long time, and because I also deploy some of the principles I'm going to talk about in this episode, I might not cover it today alone, but if you follow it throughout the next few weeks that I will cover it, you might see where I'm coming from. Because it's been deployed into my life, and I've seen it in my close cycle at the same time. It is the right time to share it with others that may benefit from it as well. So, why and how is money made? So, this is what this particular topic we focus on. It's just to give us some practical skills that will also help you to take care of your emotional well-being. So the next 3 weeks, we will be exploring together a 3-part series, the truth about money. So be patient, and enjoy the ride with me. Today, I want to dive into the mystery and mysterious element of making money. As a first part of the series, you can read more on our blog about how to make money. Many things people find out in adult life are critical and essential for their spiritual and emotional well-being. The financial literacy is a big hole in many adult lives. This continues to wreak havoc on their emotions and well-being generally because of how inadequate they find themselves. So many people go through life without having a clue how to make money. If it's to make money by the hard work alone, I can show you loads of hard workers that they don't. So if you are able to get one or two things from this podcast today or this week, it has done the purpose. Just be good without having any conversation. How many people when you think about the main job, there are other ways making money available to all if you are willing to put the time and the sacrifice required. And this is the difference between people that actually make money and people that don't. Because these will not just fly into your face or into your life by just thinking and wishing. You make some decision, you take some step that will actually push you toward it. And I hope by the time we get deep into this podcast, you will be able to see what you can do if it's what you want. Henry Ford said, if you think you can do a thing, and if you think you cannot do a thing, you probably right. Sure, financial literacy is a big goal in many adult lives. This continues to wreak havoc on their emotions and well-being because of how inadequate they find themselves. Why many people only think about their main job as a means of income. My job to you is to show you that you can double your source of income. You can multiply your main job, not necessarily to be your only source of income. So there are other ways making money available to all if you are willing to put the time and sacrifice required. At the end, either you work for yourself or for someone else, you are still trading your time for money. This comes with huge discomfort, especially if you do not enjoy what you are doing. So imagine someone that don't really enjoy their job and they have to go to the same job, spend half of their day in that same job in order to put the food on their table. It's either you grow to love the job or you do the job for functional reason. So a lot of people complaining because the job no longer have a meaning for them, or they work so hard but they have nothing to show for it at the end of the day because they end up borrowing money from friends and family despite the fact that they have the job. So at the end, either you work for yourself or for someone else, you are still trading your time for money. and you only have the 24 hours in a day, and for you working 24 hours in a day for the whole week is practically impossible. You have time to eat, you have time to sleep, you have time to even have fun, because it will also contribute into your well-being. So at the end, either you work for yourself or for someone else, you are still trading your time for money. This comes with huge discomfort, especially if you do not enjoy what you are doing. Why do you need work? So this is the question Stoic philosophers have tried to answer, and they ask this question. And I'm throwing this question to you right now. Why do you need to work? What do you think you need to do that you do not need to work? Do you need to have load of money that you do not do to work? Or do you have to work because of the money? So I'm saying to you that none of those 10 reasons should be the reason why you are working. So a Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius, stated that Adam, when you have trouble getting out of bed, especially right now in Europe, where things get dark quickly and it's also get late before the light comes in the morning, most people struggle to even do their morning rituals. But maybe they like to go outside running or exercise. It's cold and it's dark. So, according to Marcus Aurelius, he said that Adam, when you have trouble getting out of the bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. For us, work is good and healthy for our well-being. So, for Stoic philosophers, they make it as a duty of them as a human being that they need and they want to go to work. So for us today, as it's relevant to us, work is good and healthy for our well-being. But you should consider increased sources of your income for a few good reasons. And before I jump to that, I remember that I have the opportunity to observe a lady that's so fortunate. So she used her money to get a lot of help. But what turned for her that she decided not to move at all. She just lived a life where she can't even move from 1 meter to another place. She has to ask one of the people that work in her house to do it for her. And while she was making all these people get fitter, her herself are making her head get poorer. So she used her own money in a way that actually sabotaging her. But that's not what I'm saying to you here. What I'm saying to you is, think about it. When you wake up in the morning, you are not born to shy away, to be productive, to work. It's good for your self-worth, it's good for your self-respect, and it's good for your self-esteem. And if you don't have a work right now, so I pray that you have the courage and the opportunity to get something that you will be able to feel comfortable to do. So for us, work is good and healthy for our well-being, but you should consider increased sources of your income for a few good reasons. And it is important you do this, because if you only have one source of income, imagine your employer cannot able to pay you anymore. Imagine your family, your children run into trouble. How are you going to be able to support and provide for them? These are the things that you should strongly consider. And once you create that buffer for yourself, where you also increase your source of other income, it changes everything for you. You also give you freedom to develop yourself, give you freedom to expanding yourself. So for good reason, rather than one main source of income. So let's look at things that you can do to generate extra income to your existing income. Some of them might take time before you materialize, so you need patience, you need time. What I find that with people that I have conversation with is because you say things like that to them and they started implementing it in their life, and within 2 weeks they wanted to say it, and unfortunately things doesn't work that way. Sometimes you could be fortunate that you eat straight away, that what you are providing is what people really need and want at that moment. Sometimes it could be like blog, you will need a bit of time to build it up, and building it up means that it could take you 6 months. You could end up having about 200 articles on your blog before you start generating income from it. So patience. And some of these things I'm going to recommend for you, you don't actually need to start with a big money. So if you can avoid 1% of whatever you put aside, so let's say you start with $500 or $200, you can begin to invest a little time to at least something that you're passionate about, something that you love to do, so that you don't really have to drag yourself when you wake up in the morning to work on it. So number one, a side hustle. This is not a rocket science. Many millionaires today are not the people that actually work for one person. They work for themselves. But they once have worked for someone. And then you have 24 hours. You have 8 hours to work. So what do you do with your remaining 12 hours? If it's only 2 hours you can spare in a day to work on your own personal project, work on yourself to be able to create this. So number one, side hustle. Trading your time to sell products to others that want, and at the end you are serving others. Number two, interest income. Interest you get in lending your money out to secure organizations like bank, such as bank, in terms of savings is big, but because of the current market right now, that the interest rate is 0 or nothing, where people pay 0.1%, there is still fair saving or bidding society out there that they actually pay something like 0.75 or 1%. If you kind of person have a big pocket of cash that you want to put away, you can actually return something back rather than just put your money in the bank account that give you 0 interest on top of it. So this kind of one, you want to take advantage of compound interest power. Capital gain. So this number three. Number three, consider capital gain. It is something that interests you. So whenever you gain more from items you bought less or sold higher, this type of income you can get as you are, for example, as you're trading on the eBay as a seller. So you went to buy furniture, certain price, and then you end up selling it more than the original price you pay for it. So that takes me to number 4. What about dividend? It's always interesting when you get the notification message on your phone say that particular stock that you're holding just pay you so amount dividend. These are not touching to your real capital money, so it just extra, the company is sharing their profit with you, and they are giving you the portion of stock that you hold. So dividend income, you bought into the company and have a small chunk of the business. In return, they give you some portions because of the profit rise. This is classic passive income, making your money work for you. So in this sense, you are making your money work for you, because if you invest in a company, let's say like Coca-Cola, and all over the world, people drink Coca-Cola. So if the Coca-Cola profit is what they make is so higher than what they spend to produce it, and after they make the other costs that they have to make, the remaining, they just want to encourage you, thank you for you supporting them, and they drop something into your account at the same time, if that's the way you set it up. So that takes us to number 5, reality income. So days you are a creative person, whether you take a photo of nature, or you draw, or you're painting, or you even write your own ebook, producing some items, some creative items. What you get with the market that sell it for you, like Amazon, is to give you a reality every time they sell one of your items. So imagine you write a book and you manage to sell about 1,000 copies or 1 million copies, and you get the email that the check is waiting for you. These are not the things that you work on it all the time, but it continue to make an income for you as it get accepted by the popular market. So that takes me to the last way you can make income beside your main job is rental income. This is more of your property, car, and shop, and not everybody will have a lot of capital to start this particular, but if you do have that capital, it's an option you should consider. I actually know a family in Spain that when they could not dive into the property, what their capital can cover at that moment is to dive into shops, and they just buy few shops and they rent it out in tourist area. And you can imagine that they only rent these shops out 3 months in a year, because that is the peak period that the tourists in Spain. But the money that they pay for the rent for these shops, they cover it for the whole year. So it's something that you should consider if you have the capital in one place and you wanted to invest in something, and speak to the professional that can give you more information into this. So when you're taking a big financial decision like this, don't just take what you hear on the podcast or watch on the YouTube or even read on the book. Take your due diligence to listen to the financial advisor around this place before you dive into it, but it's worth listening to and it's worth take a chance on at the same time. So you see, apart from the first one, which takes a lot of your time, the remaining source of income does not require a lot of time in the long run. It just, in the beginning, it will require a lot of your time, but in the long run, the time you invest to it will subsidize at the same time. You might even get to the place where you can even employ some people and they invest their time, and then the return on the profit of the business, you can also pay them salary from it. But in the beginning, you might need to invest time. So I find these two books very useful and helpful preparing this particular topic. They are intriguing. You will need to read them one day at a time. In order to get an insight into the financial jungle, I suggest you should check out Inge Natalie O book, 100 Steps to Financial Independence. And the second book take you even higher up in the terms of your complete mindset. about making money and why you should consider it. So by Rabbi Daniel Lapin, those shall prosper, 10 commandments for making money. So at the end, so in the next episode, we'll be looking into why is it difficult to keep the money despite a higher salary today. Have you wondered why people are being paid a lot higher compared to what people are being paid 300 years ago? And still, people are not able to keep the money. So we will dive into this together next week and look into it together, and are able to highlight some of the reasons why has been the case. And if you fall into this particular group, you might be able to start changing it at the same time. So I know a few six-figure income salary earner that cannot avoid to buy their own house. How much you make will be indifferent if you fail to get the basic right. Scripture says, if the foundation has been destroyed, what can the builder do? So we shall be examining what the builder, in this case, you can do. So follow me next week. And meanwhile, if you want to know more about the book that I mentioned that I used for this particular episode this week, you can also check the article about this topic on our website at www.lifeforlivingwell.com. So there's a note of reference in that particular article. So to make it easier for you, if you just click any of the link, it takes you to the Amazon page where you can get the book and you can purchase it if it's what you like. So I wish you all the well this week and have an amazing week and stay safe. Ciao. From everyone here, from Life for Living Well, we say hasta luego, amigos. Thank you for your time this week. May your rest of the week be safe and loving. Please subscribe to our channel to keep it going. And you can find more information on our website by visiting www.lifeforlivingwell.com. Goodbye.